Hello. Have we got anyone here yet? It's very quiet. Hi, David. Hi, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Hi, Alan. We'll just wait for a few people to join, and then we'll get going. Adrian, hi. Thanks for joining. Welcome from Holland. Max here. Hi, Mac. How you doing? Hello, John. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Just wait for a few people and we'll get going. Neil, you're always here from Aberdeen. Thanks for joining. George is here. Hi, George. Uncle Paul is here. Nice to see you. Crouching Taylor, Hidden Swift. Hi. Oh, I'm getting some hearts as well. That's lovely. Hi, David. It's going well. It's going good. Nice to see you here. Thanks for joining. Another David here. David Reed, how are you? Evening, Tone. I just want to get in early and say that I'm loving the Beatles board with Greedo. I really enjoyed it. Have a good live one. Thanks very much. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. We're having so much fun making that show. We just laugh and laugh when we're making it. And if you if you think it's funny, what gets out, you should see the outtakes. Hi, Mark. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. James is here from Hawaii. Hi. I expect you're having better weather than we are here, but nice for you to join. Hi, Tim. Nice to see you here. And we got Cliff and the Cliff and Phil show. Nice to see you here as well. Thanks very much. Richard says hi. I say hi back. Jimmy Nicol is here. Oi. James Boyce, you from sunny Suffolk. You're just fresh out of a Tom stream. I saw you on there. I just had a quick peek in before I came on. Bob F is here from New Hampshire in the US. Welcome. Lynn's here. Hi, Lynn. Just done watching Tom's live podcast. I have to cut out at 3, so please cover the best stuff before then. So 3. Oh, right. Is it? What is it? 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock where you are? Are you Eastern time? DJ Spins. How's it, Tone? From Vanderburg Village, California. Hi, welcome. Is there a topic today? Yes, anything and everything. Anything you want to talk about, we can talk about. I don't mind. Just put what you want to talk about in the chat, and we'll talk about it. I was badgering Tom and Aaron. Aaron badgering, right? Polythene Pam's dad is here. Like again, not really. We've literally just started, so you're not late. James Wheelock is here. Hi. The topic today is everything. Joe's voice says, have you had your Wings gig anniversaries? I'm not sure. Oh, you mean from 1979? 1979. Yeah, so I was there on the 7th, the 8th, and the 10th. Yeah. So, yeah, today is the anniversary of one of the Wembley shows. Yeah. Mike's here. Hi, 11:09 here in Vancouver, British Columbia. Hope they put out that mono box set one more time before I coil off this earth. You're still waiting to get one. Yeah, I hope they do as well. It was a bit weird, wasn't it, that what they did earlier in the year. I was really glad to spot that early and get a video out on it, and loads of people from the channel managed to get one through that video. So that was really great. I reckon about 100 people from my channel got a mono box on that very weird release that they did. But that was good. So yeah, I hope you managed to get one, Mike. Long and Winding Road, Toad. Long and Winding Toad says hello to you, Mr. Toad. Lennon Live 1. Hey, Green's from Germany. Hi there. I always wanted to know, is the poster of John Live in your background still available somewhere? I don't know. Mrs. Beatley Tone got me that for Christmas a few years ago, and I completely forgot about it. This is way before I was doing YouTube, and we came across it, and I thought, that looked good in the studio. So there it is. I don't know if it's still available, but it's a good one, isn't it? Okay, let's talk anthology. It's very brief chart history showing. It may have been the right idea at the wrong time, 2 years late for Now and Then. Yeah, possibly. Or possibly Now and Then was two years early, because can you imagine the impact that it would have had if they had held back on Now and Then and released it as a new track for the new anthology? It would have had probably, the same sort of impact as Free as a Bird did back in the day. Well, I think, I think the price point has not been right for anthology. That has been the problem. Where are we? Have I missed someone? Neil says, loves your Rubber Soul edition. Thanks very much. Thank you. Yeah, that was quite a lot of research for that video, but it's paying dividends. It's been well, I think it's had about 8,000 views in about 24 hours. So it's doing really well. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I never bought. Now there's way too many fakes. We're talking about the monobox. Yeah, but not on vinyl though. There's not really fakes on vinyl. On CD, there's loads of fakes, but I've never heard of a vinyl fake monobox, I have to say. David says, Tone, do you remember where you were when you heard of John's passing? Yeah, I do. There is a video up on my channel where I talk about the 8th of December 1980, which was really the 9th of December 1980 for me. So yeah, I was in bed. I still lived with my parents then. I was 19, and my mum woke me up, and she said, she said, John's been shot. And I was like, John who? Because I've got a mate, John, as well. And I couldn't imagine that he had been shot. She said, John Lennon. And when she said he'd been shot, I thought, okay, well, he's been shot, but it didn't really cross my mind straight away that he'd been killed. I thought, it's John Lennon. I thought that a lot of people get shot in America. They don't all die. So yeah, it was a real sort of shock. And I got dressed, went downstairs, and my mum always used to listen to like a talk radio station, and they didn't play pop music. It was just people talking, mainly news and stuff. And I kind of knew. I went down, and it was playing Imagine, and I kind of knew from that it was a bit more serious than just a flesh wound. So yeah, I do. There is a video on the channel where I just talk about that whole day, what I did that whole day. It's it was very early in my YouTube journey, so it's probably not that good, but it is there if you want to watch it. James says, my wings anniversary is the 14th in Newcastle. I can't believe it's so long ago. So how come? Because you live in Suffolk. Presumably you didn't live in Suffolk back then, James. So, what is your thoughts on the remixes of Free as a Bird and Real Love? I did talk about that in my anthology review. I think the Free as a Bird mix is really good. I like that, and I like the Real Love one as well. And I think there's a few good things about it. I think that John's voice is much better on this remix. It sounds more like John Lennon. It's not. I don't know what they had to do with the tape. Back in the 90s, maybe they had to speed it up a little bit. I don't know, but his voice sounds much higher than normal. My mate Andy Nichols, he described it as being chipmunky. And I think he sounds much more like John Lennon in this new mix. And, I like the there's a few like different bits that you're hearing now that you didn't really hear before, some rhythm guitar bits. And, there's, they've used two different cassettes for this. And, the bit where Ringo comes in on the original version, he just comes in with just one sort of crack of the snare. Now he's kind of doing a fill to come in, which is better. And, I'm not really that bothered about the fact that they've shortened it by 20 seconds, because I've got it here, actually. I do show this in my video, but you see this here. I don't know if you can see this. Sorry. No, I need here. This is me being really geeky, right? So this is me going through the original Real Love with a timestamp. You can see the timestamps there. That is all the times that George plays a guitar lick in the original song, and all those ticks next to it are where they appear in the new version. And you can see at the end there, just at the end here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That bit there is the outro, when they're singing, it's real love, it's real. And George does like a 3-note guitar solo. And that outro, that little passage repeats 10 times on the original. And after the first one, there's no guitar lick on either version, but then the next 9 on the original version, George does like a 3-note guitar lick, and they've cut out 4 of those. That's it. That's all we are losing from George, and people are going nuts about this. And you know, I think it's completely over the top. So I like the new mix. That's my answer to that. What about you? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think of the new mix. Mike says, like the video you did on Anthology, the fourth one, I will wait for it from the library and have to have a go. And if it's still available, purchase it. Okay, that's fair enough. You know, that's one of the things that I like about streaming is the kind of try before you buy sort of thing. Seen a metal poster version of that poster on eBay. Okay. Was it expensive? Yeah, that's what I mean. I can't remember what we were talking about now. Now and Then should have been released with Anthology, no question. Red and Blue was a misstep. Yeah. It's, you know what? It's difficult to argue with success because, Now and Then released as it was, got to number one. So you can't argue with that. But I would say that if it had been released now, it would also got to number one, I think. I think. But yeah, Red and Blue was just a funny affair. I appreciate they were celebrating 50 years of the Red and Blue album, but you don't really celebrate the anniversaries of compilations, do we? Do we do that? I don't think we do. But obviously the Red and Blue are very important compilations because they were the gateway for a lot of people, me included. That was how I first got into the Beatles, by hearing the Red and Blue album. And but yeah, I mean, it's got its good and bad points. The good points are that we got a lot of remixes of songs on the Red album, particularly, which were good to hear, and that gives us a little taster of box sets to come, I suppose. But I didn't really see the need to put Now and Then on it. And if you were putting Now and Then on it, why didn't they do a remix then of Free as a Bird and Real Love? Because the whole concept of the Red and Blue album is that it contains every single plus key album tracks, and Real Love and Free as a Bird were singles, so they should really have been on it, to be absolutely honest. But it's a weird one. James says Anthology and the Wings comp have underperformed in the UK and US charts. Yeah, I think they're both re-releases, so I'm not sure what the expectation would have been. I would have expected Anthology 4 to do well. I think did it come in at number 9? Was it on the UK charts? Which is not bad. But and Anthology 4 is new, but the rest of it is kind of it's a re-release, and the Wings one is a compilation of with no new material on it. So a lot of people that would normally buy that sort of stuff had all the material. So I bought it, but a lot of people would have said, no, I don't really need it. I've got all the songs. I mean, I didn't buy it on CD because I've got all the stuff on CD, and I've got it all ripped on my server, so I wouldn't be getting anything different to what I've already got, except some different cover art on the file. So yeah. Mike says, hope they don't or mel Rubber Soul. Well, you mean what use the Mal technology? Well, I hope they do, because that's the only way you can get a remix of that stuff, because the tracks are bounced down, because they were only recording on a 4-track record. They only had 4 tracks on the mixing desk to record on, so tracks had to be tracks had to be bounced down so they could make room for, you know, overdubs and stuff like that. And without the male technology, we can't demix that and remix it. And it needs to be remixed because you've got the panning of, you know, voices on one side and instruments on the other, when, you know, the voices should be in the middle, the drums should be in the middle, and you can't move that stuff around without doing a remix. So you know, it's absolutely essential that they use that to do that remix. Lynn says, I prefer the 2025 version of Real Love with much more natural vocals. Yep, me too. Polythene Pam's dad says, yes, Wings Comp not good on the charts. Joachim says, any new rumours on the forthcoming McCartney album in 2026? Not really. I mean, what we know so far is that there are 25 tracks that he's done. They probably won't all come out in one go. Some of them might come out as like bonus tracks on CDs, or more likely he'll probably do what he's done with the last few albums, and that is put out an album and then a few months later put out a deluxe version of it that's got extra tracks on it. If I was to guess, I would say it's probably going to come out early summer. I would say May or June time. I reckon it'll come out, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. You know, he took us completely by surprise with McCartney 3, and I expect he'll do the same with this one. We'll just have to wait and see. Hi, Jeff. It will never happen, but I'm hoping for a USA singles box set with all picture sleeves, including the VJ and Tolly ones, and 3 US EPs. Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? And you know, I was saying to you earlier, I think it was you I was saying it to, you know, we never got picture sleeves in the UK. I mean, all the singles came out, you know, before I was a Beatles fan anyway, but we never got picture sleeves in the UK, only for Strawberry Fields Forever and Let It Be. They were the only ones that had picture sleeves, where everyone else got them for all the singles. So yeah, I'd like to see. I mean, there's a UK singles box out, isn't there? I think it came out in 2019. I don't have it. But that has got picture sleeves from all around the world, I think, in it. But you never know, Jeff. You never know. Hi, James. Do you have an opinion as to why it's taking the Harrison camp so long to release reissued box sets? We've only had 2. No, I don't. I don't have well, I do have an opinion of it. They're too bloody slow. That's my opinion. You know. I know that they use Paul Hicks to do the remix, who also does the remixes for the John Lennon stuff as well. So obviously his time is split between the 2 camps. I don't know whether he does other stuff as well, but yeah, I mean, 2021 we got All Things Must Pass. 2024, wasn't it? 2024 that we got Living in the Material World. And I believe that the next one is the concert for Bangladesh. I think that is what they've been working on, and that'll be a good one because it wasn't that well recorded, and it'll be especially good if they give us both shows. As you probably know, there's an afternoon and an evening show. If they give us both shows, then that'll be a box set worth having, and maybe, you know, change the soft back booklet that came in it for a hardback book. That would be good. But I'm really looking forward to them doing Dark Horse, actually, and I think we will get something from them in 2026 because I know that the Lennon estate won't be putting out any albums or any box sets in 2026. So Paul Hicks is free to work for the George Harrison camp if that's what they want him to do. But you know, I guess it's up to them. You know, I thought that the whole idea of this new deal with BMG would be, you know, to get this stuff out and all they've really done really is just reissue what's already been out there, and all the new, all the latest batch of CDs are now out on digi sleeves. They're the ones that were in the Dark Horse Years box. So they've put that out, but nothing's changed. They're just exactly the same, but just a different sleeve. Jimmy Nickel likes a pickle, says, I heard it. BBC Radio 1 DL2T was doing the breakfast show. You're talking about John Lennon's murder, right? Hi, Charles. Nearly forgot your show, but I'm here now. Hi, Charles. Nice to have you here. Dr. Spin, Ultimate Sounds. Had a hoot and a holler with yours and Greedo's game show. Tone and Paul, the new voice, keep it going. Yeah, are people watching? Are people watching the Beetleboard? If you don't know what the Beetleboard is it's a Beatles trivia game that has been devised and written by me and Paul from the Dinner with Greedo channel. The first episode was on my channel where we had Joe Mayo as the sort of the guinea pig for the first show, and he was brilliant, and he kind of joined in all the fun. And we had young Oliver Saunders on the second show, and the second show is streaming on the Dinner with Greedo channel. So if you want to keep up with it, you know, be subscribed to my channel, be subscribed to Paul's channel, Dinner with Greedo, and you won't miss it. We were thinking of doing one sort of every 3 to 4 weeks, but we're going to be doing a Christmas special. We're going to be doing a Christmas special that'll be on my channel. So we're just taking it in turns to have it on each of our channels. They're done as collaboration videos, which mean, you know, when you go into the channel, if you go into the homepage, you see a line of different categories of videos. At the top it says videos, live streams, shorts, and one of them is collaborations. You can see it there, but if you're just subscribed to my channel or just subscribed to his channel, you don't see them come up in your feed, your YouTube homepage sort of thing. But do watch it. It's so much fun to make, and we're really quite proud of it, actually. So please watch the Beetleboard. As I say, episode 2 is on the Dinner with Greedo channel. I expect he'll be on soon to make sure that I'm promoting it. James says he was 16 in 1980 and woke up to the news on the TV. My folks didn't wake me up. Did they have breakfast TV in 1980? I remember breakfast TV being much later than that. Really? TV? I thought it was like about 1983 or something that breakfast TV started in the UK. I might be wrong. I was getting dressed in the front room, hearing about Lennon death on the radio bulletin. Yeah, everyone kind of remembers exactly where they were that day. I think it's one of those things that, you know, from generations past, people say they remember when JFK got shot, and generations future kind of remember where they were when they heard the news about Princess Diana. It's one of those. It's on that level. It's on that level. James says, "Oh, you lived in Darlington." Oh, okay. 77 to 83. Poll the versions of Real Love. What do you mean? What? Create a poll for it? I don't think you can do that on StreamYard. I think you can do it on a YouTube live stream, but not on a StreamYard one. I don't think you can have like a live poll on this, unfortunately. Rommel Loves Dan says, losing George's guitar licks is troubling. One of the best parts of the song, but it's not. It's not. It's 3 notes. You only lose those 4 little licks at the end where they've cut cut the outro from 10 goes round that chorus to 6. That's all we lose. I've got the evidence here. I've got the evidence here. The evidence is here. Every time you see a tick, that is a guitar lick, a George Harrison guitar lick in the original version and in the new version. And there's just 4 at the end where they've, you know, they've said, look, do we really need there to be 10 goes round of that outro? I mean, 10 is probably too many. Let's make it 6. That's all they've done. It's not a big deal. I really don't think it is. I really don't think it's a big deal. I was watching Monday Night Football when Howard Cosell announced John had been shot. Yeah, a lot of Americans remember that because I guess it was probably about, what was it, about 10 o'clock at night, something like that in New York. But we have both, so fans mixes can be made. Yeah, they can, but you know, fans mixes are fans mixes. You know, fans mixes don't really mean anything to me. To be honest, you know, I like to have physical media, something I can hold. But you know, fans make good remixes. But I must admit, I don't listen to them that often. I don't. Do you think Capitol will ever release Rubber Soul, Beatles 6 Yesterday Today, Magical Mystery Tour as a box set? And you could probably add Hey Jude to that, couldn't you, as well? I don't know. I mean, obviously they did the 1964 albums because it was an anniversary. These are more spread. You know, it would be okay if they released them to buy individually and in a box set, you know, for people who wanted a box set, but people could pick and choose which ones they want. I think it's a slightly different situation with these ones because all of those ones were kind of 1964 and they were celebrating, you know, the Beatles arriving in America in 1964. That was the purpose of it. Whereas these are, you know, spread a little bit more. 1965, 1967, 1966. So there's not a specific event that they'll be celebrating to do like a box set for, but they might do. But you know, they could do. But I've said in my latest video where I talk about what might be happening with a Rubber Soul box set, that I'd like to see the US Rubber Soul included in that because it's different. It's different track listing and there's different mixes to what we got here in the UK, and so I would quite like to see a US Rubber Soul included, and it's kind of got a different feel to it. It's much more sort of folky than the UK version. I still think the UK version is better. But I do like the idea of the US Rubber Soul being in the box set. I think it's important, and it's kind of got that story as well attached to it that that was the album that inspired Brian Wilson to write Pet Sounds, because he wouldn't have been listening to the UK version. He would have been listening to that Capitol version. I expect he probably was sent it by Capitol because the Beach Boys were on Capitol as well, weren't they? If I remember rightly. Mark says, "Well said on Real Love, thank you. I too like the new version. We also have the original as well. Yeah, we do. We have the original version. We have the remastered version, and now we've got the remixed version as well. And they've all got their place. I think they've all got their place." Bob says, "Now and Then should have opened volume 3, disc 1 on the newer anthology." Yeah, I think it should. I kind of understand from the LP point of view why they kept those 3 songs together on side 6 of anthology 4. But if you bought it on CD, they're not like separated in any way like they are on the LP. So it's a bit pointless, really. It definitely should have been. It definitely should have been on anthology, and in hindsight, it should have been held back for anthology, because they must have known that they were going to do anthology, back in 2023, because they must have a roadmap of what's coming. At least 5 years ahead. So I think holding it back would have been better. But like you say, it did get to number one. Jared says, have you ever seen the Pete Best documentary? No, I haven't. It's a nice addition to what an anthology left out from his perspective. Right. Okay. Is that something that's on YouTube or is that a TV thing? David Reed says, change the subject. How about the next McCartney box being all of his 12-inch releases? None of these are on streaming, so it should appeal to younger fans. Yeah, I think that is a great idea. And I've been planning to do a video on my McCartney 12-inch singles because I had a little bit of I had quite a few that I bought back in the day. And but I kind of stopped buying them once CD singles came out. I think probably the last ones that I bought on 12-inch were the press to play 12 inches, the three 12 inches that were the singles from press to play, and they are brilliant. All those remixes on those 12-inch singles are better than the versions that are on the album. But then when I sort of got a CD player in 1987. Then I started buying CDs, stopped buying vinyl at that stage. So I stopped buying 12-inch singles, but I've gone back. I've gone back to get all those 12-inch singles that I missed. I haven't got all of them, but I've got most of them. And I mean to do a video on it. I've been meaning to do it for a while, but, things get in the way. They keep releasing things like Anthology and the Wings compilation and the Wings book. And so these things get put back and back and back. Not entirely a joke, but Rock and Roll Music compilation anniversary in 2026. There are unique mixes on that album. Yeah, there are on the US one. I have got a US one. I bought it at the Fest in Chicago earlier this year, but never had one before. I have to say that they're not that great, but they are different. There are some different mixes on it. But also, if we're going to be talking about anniversaries of compilation albums, what about collection of Beatles oldies but goldies? That is 60 years old next year, and that's been completely deleted from the catalogue now. So that's you can't buy it. No, but I've recently heard that in Japan they are putting out a double CD of the stereo and mono versions of that album, which is interesting. So collection of Beatles oldies but goldies. I don't think anyone really wants that, do they? Let me know if you do. Joseph says we've got half of Rubber Soul. Well, yeah, we've got half of. If you've got the Red album, then you've got half of Rubber Soul already remixed plus Day Tripper, and we can work it out, which kind of takes the shine off a Rubber Soul box set a little bit for me. I still want it. Don't get me wrong, but it kind of takes the shine off it a little bit for me. Mike's here. Hi, Mike. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. Bob's respun. I would like to see the rest of the UK catalogue get the Mal remix and bring all of the original EMI albums up to their best sound fidelity. Yeah, me too. I mean, whenever we get these box sets, the remix is the most important thing for me. That's what I want. If they just did a remix and put it out without all the other stuff, then I'd still buy it. The box sets are lovely. They're really nice. But it's the remix that I buy them for, because I don't, I like to hear the outtakes, a few times, but I don't often go back to them. Apart from the ones that were in the Let It Be sessions. I've played that quite a lot because I think they're really good. But I don't go back to them too often. But yeah, I would like to see that. What is everyone's opinion about them doubling up on box sets. A lot of people have commented, and I've mentioned it before quite a few times about them. You know, where they've got, you know, the whole point of my new video is that there ain't a lot left in the vault to do a sessions LP for the Rubber Soul box set. There definitely won't be a 2 LP sessions LP like we've had in the other ones, but they're barely scraping the bottom of the barrel to even get 1 LP out of what is left in the can for Rubber Soul. So what about if they were to do a 1965 box, Rubber Soul and Help, a 1964 box, Hard Day's Night, Beatles for Sale, and a 1963 box for Please Please Me and With the Beatles? Who's in favour of that? My mate Andy says that, you know, that these albums are you know, they're sacred and they each need their own individual box set. And someone else in the comments on my latest video said today that if they don't get box sets, then it's like Apple saying that those early albums are not as important as the later albums, which I thought was a good point. All the albums should really be treated equally. But if they're going to take, you know, 3 years between releases, or 4 years it's going to be at the very minimum, then they're never going to get to the end. You know, it's going to take forever. It's going to take forever. It's going to be like the George Harrison camp. Bob says, well, 1967 to 70 Blue album could have changed it. Well, they could have just, that would, well, 20,024 wouldn't have made sense. That's what you've typed, but you obviously mean 2024. But they could have just called it the Blue album. They would have just taken that away. Because call it the Blue album, call it the Red album, because that's what everyone calls it anyway. And then you wouldn't have, you know, what you're talking about 1967 to 70 when you've got a track from 2023 on it. Hi, Andrew. Why do Red and Blue 50 years and not Rubber Soul and 50 years? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know what the thinking. I mean, I think the thinking behind the Red and Blue was just as a vehicle for Now and Then. I really think that is what it was about. But they didn't need to do it. They didn't need to do it. You know, they could have put it out as a single, or they could have saved it for anthology. But I don't know. I don't know where their mind goes on this. There doesn't seem to be, you know, any thought that goes into the release schedule. But there you go. You know, I think when they put out Sgt. Pepper, I think the original thinking when Sgt. Pepper came out, that it was going to be a one-off. It was going to be a celebration because it was Sgt. Pepper. It was the 50th anniversary. But it did so well and it blew so many people away that a light bulb moment went off and said, well, what if we do one for the White Album? But we've only got like a year to do it. So we haven't got time to do Magical Mystery Tour. That would be the next one. So consequently, that gets missed. They got to get it out for the 50th anniversary of the White Album in 2018. So Magical Mystery gets missed. And then they got to do Abbey Road in 2019. So Yellow Submarine gets mixed. And then they get to Let It Be. And then they go back to Revolver. So, you know, they haven't really thought it through, I don't think. Yeah, Maltech. Yeah, it's important. It's important, Mike. Trust me, it's important. Look who's here. It's Paul. Yeah, how you doing, buddy? Here's what I think would have been a better anthology release. No Anthology 4, just 1, 2, and 3 remastered with the latest mixes, Free as a Bird, Real Love, and then would be on the Anthology 3 in place of the beginning, or as well as because if you're reissuing it, you don't really want to take something away. Just add it on. Just add it on. It would have been all right. It would have been all right. Now, did I do enough promotion for the Beatle board? Was you here when I did it? Let me know. Good to see you, mate. I'm missing you. I'm missing you. James says, I guess I was hoping the new Wings comp might have more legs like a Queen's Greatest Hits. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I mean, that was huge, wasn't it? That was huge when that came out. The first one came out in the 70s, didn't it? Probably around the time Wings Greatest came out, wasn't it? Oh no, it was later, wasn't it? Was it about 1980? What's on it? It saved me on it. I think it is, isn't it? I think it must have been about 1980. And John's saying to Paul, and a Blu-ray release of the anthology series. I think the Blu-ray of that is questionable. And you know, we still haven't had a Blu-ray for Let It Be yet, so I'm not sure whether there will be a Blu-ray for anthology. There might be, but not for a while. Not for a while. Mike says, I'll be popping in and out. I'd love to get a US singles box with the sleeves. So you agree with Jeff. 50 Thunderer 26 says, hi, sorry I'm late. It's okay. It's okay. No one needs a note from their mum for coming in late. It's absolutely fine. You come and go as you please. We've got 96 people on. That's really good. Hi, Phil. Happy to have these new reissues with remixes and new outtakes. I remember the 70s and the 80s when all we got were awful compilations with nothing different. I like the new Real Love remix. A lot of people are coming around to it. I think it's one of those things that if you play it a few times, it kind of gets under your skin and you start to like it. I think, yeah, I remember the bad old days. I mean, people moan about everything now. This is a cash grab, that's a cash grab, blah 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 blah. But you know, for those of us that remember, the 70s and the 80s where we got virtually nothing. We never got any. There was never really any new material apart from the Beatles live at the Hollywood Bowl. I won't count the Star Club Hamburg because that wasn't issued by Apple. But we got nothing between Let It Be and the Hollywood Bowl. That was 7 years, and then we got nothing between the Hollywood Bowl and then we got Rarities, didn't we? In the UK in 79, and then the US one came out in 1980. And then there was no new material until Live at the BBC came out in 94. So those were the bad old days. These are good times for Beatles fans. Everyone is entitled to say, no, thank you, I don't want that. Or yes, please, I'll have that. Bring it on and bring on more and bring on more. This is a good time to be a Beatles fan, but whatever they release, they're onto hiding to nothing because you can't please all the people all the time. And that is an age-old problem, and that will never go away. Just have a sip of tea. James says yes, he wants both shows for Bangladesh. The other James says, I'm hoping that the last two Wings reissues will come out around the time of the Wings documentary, and as for Paul's new album, May would be good. Yeah, there must be an ultimate point to all this Wings activity, don't you think, James? The book, the collection, and the documentary. It's a three-pronged Wings attack. Macca has been flogging Wings merch all year. And including stuff from Back to the Egg and London Town. I still want to believe in the archive series. I don't want to concede that it's dead. When I'll concede that it's dead is if they bring out a remastered London Town and a remastered Back to the Egg, as a standalone album and nothing else, then I will concede that the archive series is dead. Until then, I'm still hopeful. I'm still hopeful. Right. Okay. James also wants a Dark Horse remix with Best of Dark Horse Tour. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what the situation is with the 1974 tour. I don't know whether all the shows were recorded or some of them were recorded, or we've seen. We've heard some. I know that not all, I don't think all the shows were filmed. Definitely, we've seen individual clips being used here and there from the shows. But if that tour could be, was recorded and it can be cleaned up, that would be so well received by fans, I think. New Sean track on Lemon Twigs tribute to their dad, Ronnie Dario. Just listen, pretty good. Have you heard? No, I haven't. But thanks for letting me know about that. Lynn says, I love the Beatle board with you and Paul. So much fun. Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, we just have so much fun making it and writing it as well. And it is good fun. It is good fun. And it's a bit of trivia and a bit of comedy, and that's all good, I think. Talking to John, saying hope of deliverance from the archives that surrounds us. Yeah. Not nothing from the Lennon camp, but maybe it's a good one for Macca as well as new album, anything archive. Looking at my stuff the other day, I don't have Twin Freaks on vinyl. A CD version would do me. Yes, I don't think there is a CD version of that at the moment. It's only on vinyl. I have got it, but it's the good bits. There's bits that I don't really need to hear again. But I'd like them to do like a Twin Freaks 2. The mix that the DJ does pre the Macca shows on the Got Back tour is just fantastic. I'd love that to come out as a CD or an album. It's great. It's a really it goes on for probably about maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So it's a double album's worth of remixed Macca stuff. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. Hi, Joseph. Did anyone mention that Anthology isn't really the 60th anniversary due to the fact it wasn't released until 1996? Well, it's the 30th anniversary of the first lot of Anthology, but it's the 30th anniversary, not the 60th. Hi, James. Tone, I hit the like button. Appreciate you. Thanks very much. Please do hit the like button because it does help. It really does. You'll be surprised how few people do hit the like button. On my videos, it's around. And it's not just my videos. I kind of wondered whether it was me, but no, it's the site. My videos do quite well for likes. I get only about 10 to 12% people that watch the videos actually bother to hit the like button, which is disappointing, really, because quite a lot of effort goes into making the videos. It's free content and blah 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 blah. And it only takes a second to do it, so it's no skin off anyone's nose, really. And it really does help the channel, because what the like button does, for those of you that don't know, is it tells the algorithm that there's engagement in the video, so people that are watching it are, enjoying it or whatever. But anyway, I won't moan about it. I won't moan about it. Okay. I was probably at home when the news broke in 1980. I was 3 at the time. Okay, so you won't really have any memory of that. I was watching Monday Night Football here in the States when they announced Lennon's death during the game. Yeah, Beatle John is here. Hi, Hi, John. Evening, Tone. Sorry I'm late. It's okay. It's okay. Come and go as you please. I've probably been binge listening to live at the BBC. Oh yeah, you mentioned this, didn't you, on the video? The best you'll hear, the Beatles playing live without the screams, with some fantastic covers, never to be released until this album. Yeah, it's great. Both of those albums are great and very, very worthwhile. James says, I was living in the dorms in college and woke up and one of my dorm mates said, did you hear about John Lennon? He is dead, as I was on my way to breakfast. I know, it's horrible. It's horrible. Is Anthology shelved now? What do you mean? We've been talking about it all this whole live stream. Where have you been? Where have you been? What do you mean is it shelved? It's always been shelved as far as you've been concerned anyway, hasn't it? Jimmy says Anthology 5 in another 30 years. I don't think so. How about Magical Mystery Tour box? What No Love? I can imagine a wonderful box collection of the tour. Yeah, I mean, they missed Magical Mystery Tour. I think there's only, is there only about 2 tracks now? And 3 tracks that have, 4 tracks that haven't been remixed. Flying, Blue Jay Way, Your Mother Should Know, and Baby You're a Rich Man. So many, we've had a lot of outtakes from Magical Mystery Tour. I wonder if there's anything in the can for a box set for that. But I don't know. I mean, I still like it. I still like it. Wouldn't you think Christmas Time Is Here Again would get a single release? I don't know. It's not one of my favourites, I have to say. But there you go. I mean, people like different things. I don't know. I don't think so. But, others might agree. What does everyone think? Should Christmas Time Is Here Again be out as a single for Christmas? Hi, Tim. I was just wondering if you've heard of any upcoming reissues of Ringo's late 70s albums, such as Ringo's Road to Couture, Ringo the Fourth, Bad Boy. No, I haven't, but no doubt they will happen. I think there's been a lot of reissues of Ringo the Fourth, hasn't there? Different coloured vinyls and stuff. The other 2 that you mentioned, I don't think there's been anything recently. No, I haven't heard it. I haven't heard anything. Do you ever get all Beatled out? No, never. Never. In fact, I've become, like, since I've had a YouTube channel, I've become more Beatled in. I think. Yeah, definitely. So no, I don't. I'm, I try and be upbeat about them and enthusiastic, and I don't. It doesn't really wear me out. The thing about having a channel, the thing that does wear you out is where you get, constant negative comments about the Beatles or what they're releasing, and I like to answer everyone's comments because it kind of promotes engagement, and it gets weary when people are, going cash grab, all that sort of stuff. I'm not buying this, I'm not buying that, blah, blah, blah. People are entitled to buy what they want, but I'm just saying that when you hear it over and over again and you've got to respond to it, it gets a little bit wary, but I don't really get Beatled out as such. Paul's at an age that it might have been too risky to hold back now and then. He was so instrumental in it happening. I'm sure he wanted to be around to enjoy its release. Yeah, good point. Have you seen the new epic Elvis Presley in concert trailer? No, I haven't. I'm not really an Elvis fan, so that's not something that I would probably be interested in, to be absolutely honest. But no, I haven't seen it. Although I did see there was an advert for it on the back of Mojo, this month's Mojo, that's just come out. I did see something about that. Okay, favorite Beatles guitar solo. The solo in Let It Be is absolutely superb. Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. We could say, are we allowed to say while my guitar gently weeps because it's Eric Clapton? About Taxman, that's a good one. Paul plays that one. But yeah, Let It Be is probably the LP version is really, really good. Really, really good. Name your favorite Beatles guitar solo in the comments, and we'll get to them eventually. How many times have you listened to the 7-inch singles box set Paul McCartney released a while back? So I listened to the whole thing when I first got it, and since then I've listened to a few of them in various sittings. I quite like the paraphernalia of putting on a single and just sitting back and then getting up, putting it on, giving it back, that sort of thing. And also on my turntable, not this one here, but my turntable that's back in the house, it hasn't got like an automatic speed button. You have to actually move the drive belt down a notch on the motor to change it to 45. So it's all part of the fun, But I just absolutely adore that box set. It's one of my favorite box sets that I've got. I love it. What about you? Have you got it and do you play it? Reed says, loved your video on the rubber sole issue. Thanks very much. I would have to insist that Apple include a Blu-ray audio to give us Atmos 5.1 and high-res version. Keep up the great work. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be very happy to see the return of the Blu-ray that they ignored when they did Revolver. I think a lot of people would be happy if that came back. Jake says maybe Apple never had a roadmap. They were probably just winging it and stuck now and then. Well, yeah, I do think that they've got. They must have a roadmap. They're a massive company. Companies can't do budgeting or planning or anything like that without a roadmap. They have to have that. So they must have a roadmap. But I do think that the Now and Then single was kind of sprung on them. I think that it was recorded in 2022, and you can just imagine Paul going to Apple, look what we've got, and they've obviously got to find a way of marketing it, and the red and blue was the way they decided to go with it, which I just think was just completely the wrong idea. I do love the Red and Blue album. That, as I say, they were my gateway to the Beatles, and I'm quite affectionate about them. But it was just the wrong thing to release at that time when everyone was really geared up for Rubber Soul. And so I think it may have been a substitute decision. I think that they were probably planning to release Rubber Soul in 2023, but they got waylaid. And then 2024, obviously, they felt that they needed to celebrate the Beatles arriving in America with the box set, and that became the issue for last year. Taz says, best wishes from Tasmania, Australia. Wow. Tony, I've been loving the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you. And welcome. It's great to have someone so far away tuning in. The wonders of the internet, eh? It never fails to impress me. The lady says, do you like Release Me by Engelbert Humperdinck? No, not really. No. Not really. It's a bit like sort of middle of the road for me. That is what I would consider to be like my mum and dad's music. It's not for me. No. Pete Best of the Beatles. That's what it's called, is it? How modest. Favorite guitar solo, Taxman for John. Polythene Pam's dad said, "Oldies but Goldies was my first Beatles album. My dad took me to Petticoat Lane Market. Know it well, know it well, and got me a copy back in 1976. Got the original stereo and mono. Now, yes, so have I. I had the stereo, but I probably bought it about 1977, maybe. But yeah, good days, eh? Good days. Down the lane. Quite happy to have doubled up box sets, Help and Rubber Soul. Yep. I think a lot of people would like that as well. But not Polythene Pam's dad. No doubling up on album reissues. Thunderer says it's good choice. Taxman, that is. Yes, I would like. I would like the box idea. I would buy those. We're talking about the doubles, the doubling up. Hoping for Paul tour in Liverpool for 26, as good as the Got Back tour was. I'm hoping for the Move On tour. Well, you know, if he doesn't play the UK, I think that he will play Europe, because I think he owes Europe some dates. Because, well, he don't owe anyone anything really, does he? He's given his life really to it. But you know, when he came to Europe last year, he only played in Paris and Madrid, and London and Manchester. So it would make sense that he would do some dates here and in Europe. And if it's just in Europe, I'd still go. You know, if he played in, you know, in the Netherlands or maybe Scandinavia or somewhere like that. I've seen him in Sweden before, you know, Germany or whatever, wherever. Yeah, I would go. But I'd like to see a bit of a reshuffle with that set list. But the set list, you know, he always treats his shows as if people were seeing him for the first time. And you know, if you are seeing him for the first time, it's a stellar set list. You know, if you went to see him for the first time and he didn't play Hey Jude and Let It Be, then you'd feel a little bit shortchanged, I think. But for those of us that have been a few times, then you know, it's a bit that again. But yeah, I'd like to see him do some different songs, and maybe if he's got a new album out, that could be the catalyst that inspires some new songs being thrown into the set. Pete Best Doc is $13 on Amazon. I don't think it's streaming. Okay, thank you. A Magical Mystery Tour and Yellow Submarine combo box set would be nice. Yeah, I think so too. I don't think that those two can warrant a full box each. Not that there's anything wrong with Magical Mystery Tour. I think it runs a good race against Sergeant Pepper. It races it all the way to the finish line and just falls slightly short. But you know, there's some great songs on Magical Mystery Tour. You know, I love it. I do love it. We have had quite a lot of outtakes from Magical Mystery Tour, and we've had quite a lot of remixes already. Yellow Submarine, less so. Yellow Submarine, really, when you think about it, you know, there's only 4 new Beatles songs on that. So, you know, if that came out on its own, I would be, I've got to get it, but it wouldn't excite me. Whereas a Magical Mystery Tour box would excite me. But I think, yeah, the 4 songs, the 4 Yellow Submarine songs in a Magical Mystery Tour box, most of them written in 1967 anyway. So yeah, that would be good. UMG pricing strategy is baffling. You know, it's what it is now. You know, we are in the world of the £30 album, $30 album, or $35 album, £30 sterling album. That is where we are in the world, and I don't think UMG are any different to any other record label, are they? You know, what does Sony artists, you know, record? What price are they? I don't know. but that's kind of where we are. John, I'm not ignoring your comments, but if you're just talking to someone else in the chat, then I'll just leave you guys to it. We haven't got forever. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm kind of keen on the 2 album box set. That's why I'm kind of keen on that. Pop Goes to 60s U channel does a great Pete Best deep dive. Okay. Mike says, I'm all in favor of doing box sets by the year. Given the circumstances, I think it would be a very good idea. Great idea, Tone. I'm not sure if it was my idea, but I have mentioned it quite a few times, just basically because I want them to get on with it. That's why I want to, we've lived with these terrible stereo pressings, terrible stereo mixes since the 70s, when I first got into the Beatles, and I just want it all nice and sounding great and having instruments where they should be in the soundstage. That's what I want. I want that more than I want outtakes. So there you go. James says doubling up on the remixes would be good for us old farts who can't wait forever. Yep, exactly. Thunderous says Sgt. Pepper anniversary release in 2027. No. Nick's here. Hello, mate. Hello. How you doing? Good to see you here. I don't know where you are. I don't know whether you're in Luton or in Israel or in America. I think you're in Israel, right? Let me know. Doubling up on the early boxes would be fine and maybe easier on the pocketbook. Yeah, maybe. They'll probably just charge twice as much, right? Depends how much stuff they're including, because obviously that they would have to do maybe a bigger book because they'd be concentrating on. Well, they would have to do a bigger book because they'd be concentrating on 2 albums in one book, I suppose. But I don't think I'm not against it. In fact, I'm very much for it. Magical Mystery Tour would be amazing as a remix. Yeah, well, we have had most of the songs have been remixed now. So I think there's 4 from the the American album that haven't been remixed so far. I didn't even buy the Sgt. Pepper box, just the 2 CD set. Oh, Joseph, it's fantastic. It's so good. It is such a good box set. It is really, really good. But if you're happy with your 2 CD, that's fine. That's fine as well. But I know that on the 2 CD, it's got a selection of outtakes, isn't it? But the box set is, I mean, that just blew me away when we got it. We'd never had anything like it for the Beatles, really, had we? With this new CEO at Apple, all bets are off for what happens now. All previous schedules could have been scrapped. Yeah, absolutely. I hear his background is in the digital streaming world. Well, yeah, but that is the focus. I was talking to Simon Hilton, who is the sort of executive director of the John Lennon estate. And he said that box sets will not exist after about 2035. There won't be any more box sets after that time, he doesn't think. And we are looking at streaming for music in the future, which is sad, really. It's sad, really. But I do think that, streaming is where they're picking up a lot of new fans, and there's all the other element of streaming. It's not just people just streaming stuff for free and end of story. People, there's what I kind of use streaming for is try before you buy it. I never stream stuff that I already own on things like Spotify or Apple Music. I've got all the CDs that I own. I've got them all ripped and on a server, and I've got a streaming device attached to my hi-fi, and I stream in that sense of the word. But when I'm talking about using things like Spotify or Apple Music, I usually only listen to things that I don't own, with a view of, do I like this sort of thing? And I think that the fact that streaming is available to young people, well, to everyone really, but young people use it as their main source of music. You know, it could lead to them, oh, I like this, I'd quite like to you know, to buy this on vinyl or on CD. I mean, my nephew who's 22, he's just got into vinyl. I mean, he's into bands that I've never heard of, but he's got into vinyl. So young people aren't buying vinyl, you know, when they can afford it, and streaming can lead to the promotion of the buying of physical media. Layla says, love one hand clapping. I'll give you a ring. So simple but effective. Paul's writing shows how simple but effective Paul's writing can be. Yeah, it's a good song. Yeah, it's a good song. That was a song that he was working on, wasn't it? When he got the news about John, December 1980. Paul says, I was here when you were flogging the Beatle board. Hashtag best Beatles quiz on YouTube. Nice work. Yeah, do watch the Beatle board. It's great. We're very proud of it, and we're having so much fun doing it. Say episode 2, you can see on Dinner with Greedo's channel, and episode 1 with Joe Mayo you can see on my channel, and episode 3 will be dropping soon, and that'll be on my channel. So, hey, Sundance, hi. The sooner we realise that it's just beers, the better for all of us. Yeah. I mean, they're not going to give this stuff away for free. It's called the music business for a reason. Can you play the promo here? Oh, God, I don't know. I don't know. Let me think about that. Let me think about it. Can I play the promo? I'll have a look. What can I play here? Video file. Yes, I think I might be able to. Let me get through a few messages and then I'll do it. Interesting that. Well, do people want to see the promo? Do people want to see the promo for Beetleboard episode 2? Interesting that Paul is releasing Arrow Through Me tomorrow on YouTube. Is he? I didn't know that. So more promotion of Wings. More promotion of Back to the Egg. It's coming, I'm telling you. It's coming. George says, I thought Red and Blue 2023 was an admission that the expanded and restored anthology 4K was many years away. Did you? I don't know. Didn't really cross my mind, to be honest, when that came out. I didn't even think about anthology back in 2023. Vinyl Grams Records. I really enjoy all the anthology stuff. Never got anything back in the day, so very happy, no complaints. Yeah, if you're coming to this for the first time, it's bloody brilliant. It's brilliant. Well, I mean, I think the remaster that they've done on it is just fantastic, because, you know, sometimes when they do a remaster, particularly on Paul stuff, doesn't, I don't know. I'm just a bit meh about it. It's not that great or not that different. This remaster is really, really good. It's really good. You can really tell the difference when you play one against the other. It's phenomenal. So yeah, and I've always thought that, apart from a few exceptions, I always thought that they put the best outtakes on anthologies 1, 2, and 3, and everything that they've put out since, not quite as good. There are a few exceptions to the rule. There was some good stuff on the Let It Be sessions, some good stuff on Abbey Road as well, and I think the You Never Give Me You Never Give Me Your Money, take 36 on Abbey Road, and also on Anthology 4 is just brilliant. It's brilliant, and also Don't Let Me Down from the Rooftop is fantastic. that stuff. And there's quite a few good bits from the White Album box set as well, but I think less so from Revolver. And I think that as far as outtakes go, as we're going back, I think we're looking at diminishing returns. And you know, well, I've said what I've said about Rubber Soul, and but I do think that the you know, when they went through the anthology back in the 90s, you know, they listened to everything, and they've pretty much picked the best outtakes, with a few exceptions. Love listening to the new tracks, Frizzbird, Real Love, and Now and Then together on Anthology 4. Haven't got a problem with the remixes. They're great. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Now and Then has been remixed. It's still the 2023 version, but the other two, I think the remixes are great. Dan says the Star Club performance properly demixed would be an epic release. I can't imagine anyone passing on that. Yeah, I've got this kind of mixed view about that, because it was so badly. You know, we're talking about, you know, well, I suppose when you see what they could do with Now and Then with John's cassette, I suppose you can, but I just don't know whether it holds up for, you know, for all the instruments and all the voices. You know, that, you know, if you listen to that Star Club album, it's so badly recorded. You know, it's barely listenable. I don't know. You know, I think Peter Jackson is, you know, having a go at remixing, or his team is having a go at remixing it, and we'll see how it turns out. And I expect he will offer it to Apple, but whether they take it or not is another matter. And if they don't, I guess he'll hawk it around to another label. Andrew Brooks, hello. How you doing, mate? How are you? Good to see you here. I remember in the mid-'80s, Popular Lager, Heineken did a promotion. Yeah, I remember that. Where if you sent away a number of Heineken ring pulls, they send you a Beatles compilation cassette tape. I still have it. Wow. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't do it though. You know, back in those days, I was of the opinion, well, if I've already got it, I've already got it. I don't need it again. I never thought that, you know, a cassette issued by a Heineken would be worth any money, and it probably is. Andrew says, I have the same mist of my viewers are not same mist of my viewers are not subs. Okay. I'm not sure if I understand. What you mean there, Andrew. Downloaded Twin Freaks off Amazon. Horrendous cuts between tracks. Okay. So on Twin Freaks, it's not a one continuous track with lots of remixes. That what I was talking about that goes on at Paul's live show, that is a continuous track, whereas on Twin Freaks they're like individual tracks. Merlin's Cat says, hi there, I would love to see the reissue of Let It Be Naked on vinyl. What do you think? I think a lot of people would want that because it's you know, it's expensive to buy. I do have one, and it is expensive to buy, so a lot of people would welcome that. It would do pretty well, I think. Andrew says, I was 16, went to school that day, was very sad all week. Yeah, talking about the 8th of December, or the 9th of December as it was for us, Andrew, right? Evening Tone, from the Outer Hebrides, Isle of Harris. Okay, welcome. You must be pretty happy about World Cup qualifications, right? I thought that was fantastic. I'm really happy to see that Scotland are going to be there. Only four. Let's get on with it. Only 4 anthologies. Oh, I'm getting stuck with these random comments. You have to let me know what you're talking about, otherwise I'm lost. Because am I way behind on my? Oh God, I am. I'm about half an hour behind on the comments. I need to get on with it. I was woken by my grandmother who cared for us after our mum died with the news. I was 17, almost 18 in my final year of A levels at school. Yeah, I was similar age. I was 19. When I was a kid, We All Stand Together was so magical for me. Felt like a Christmas event, although it was released in November. They roll out the snowman every year. Why not this? It's a great tune. It is. I was telling Andy that I'd had a bit of an epiphany with the Frog song, because just before the Wings compilation came out, I played All the Best in anticipation of getting the Wings thing, and the Frog song is on there. Now, I've always been of the opinion, what a pile of shit, because when it came out, in, when was it, 84? Was it in 1984? I would have been 23 at that time, and at the height of my pop snobbery. And I used to go, people that I work with used to go out for drinks and stuff like that with my pop music buddies. And I always had to kind of defend Paul McCartney, because they were like a little bit younger than me, and I always thought that there was no defending that. And I listened to We All Stand Together on All the Best, only a few weeks ago, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a work of genius. It is brilliant. The whole arrangement of it is, it's just incredible. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's a masterpiece. And I never thought I would ever say that, because, I just always just thought of it as being, a kid's song. It's not for me. It's not for me. I mean, I've still never really liked Yellow Submarine, to be honest, for the same reason. And that still holds true. But as I say, I had a bit of a epiphany with We All Stand Together only a few weeks ago. Once Upon a Long Ago reminds me of a Christmas song. Yeah, me too. Great song. Now there's a good guitar solo. Anthology 2 was released on the 18th of March 1996, and Anthology 3 followed on October the 28th, 1996. That was my point. Yeah, I knew what your point was, but Anthology, the series dropped in 1995, didn't it? And Anthology 1 did. So we kind of think of, 2025 is really the 30th anniversary of Anthology, but not necessarily the Anthology 2 and 3. So, we can call it what we like, really, can't we? If we're talking about releasing a Beatles track for Christmas, how about Your Blues? That would be fun. Yeah. That would do it. That would make everyone really cheery. Great track, though, isn't it? I really want all Beatles fans to download, stream George's Ding Dong Ding Dong and make it number one for Christmas. I love that song. Simple and catchy. Yeah, I love it as well. It's 7 a.m. from Australia. I hope everyone is well. Good morning to you, Owen, and nice of you to spend your early morning breakfast coffee with us. Thank you. I couldn't run a YouTube channel because all of the whinging and complaining Beatles fans are pretty entitled at times. Yeah, they are, but it goes with the territory. And I don't really go deep into YouTube channels for other bands. Like, there's loads of other bands that I like, but I don't watch sort of jam YouTubers or Stones YouTubers or whatever. So I don't know, but I would imagine that if they're old bands and they have a following of people of our age, I would imagine they're pretty much all the same. They're always people moaning about something, because you just can't please all the people all the time. That's a fact. And yeah, it does get you down a little bit. But there you go. I still enjoy doing my channel very much. It takes up a lot of my time. Hang on a sec. Right. Guitar solos on the end. Yeah, really good. Something that is best guitar solo is the LP Let It Be. Solo is My Love. My Love. Yeah, that's great solo. Great solo. Layla says the guitar solo in You Can't Do That. That is super. I think John plays that. Does John play that? I think he does, doesn't he? Right. We've got almost 63. Like you, my mania has probably increased, if anything. My main desire is to get remixes of the early albums and the ongoing remixes of solo albums. Yep. I hope so. That's what I want as well. I can tell you that the John Lennon Ultimate Mixes project will be finished by 2030. That's what I've been told. So we won't be getting one next year, but Walls and Bridges be coming in 2027, and then we'll get Rock and Roll probably in 2028, and then Double Fantasy and Milk and Honey will be one box set because they come from the same sessions. Those albums come from the same sessions, so that'll be one box set, and then they'll be done. Right, okay. Jules says, ask Peter Jackson to do a Get Back version of Magical Mystery Tour if there's any unseen. Oh God, there must be tons. There must be tons. If what they actually put out was the best of it, then there must be tons of on the cutting room floor for that. I would have thought. Greets from Great Britain. Hi Neil. Hi. Let It Be single version is probably my favorite too. I think we were talking about the LP version actually, but you choose whatever you want. But I prefer the LP version. Paul says, "What are your thoughts on Prince's guitar solo and the live version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps?" Stunning. It's fabulous. It's been a long time since I listened to the Beatles and the Beach Boys back to back. I listened to Sgt. Pepper and Pet Sounds again, but right now I prefer the Beach Boys album. It might change soon. Okay. Right. Does anyone mind if we just play the promo for the Beatles board, if I can find it? What have I done with it? I don't know if I've got it now. Where is it? Oh, it's on my. Hang on a sec. So it's 2 minutes 30. Let me see if I can just add it.
Hello and welcome to this second episode of the Beatle Board.
Ollie Saunders, bring him on.
Hello, how are you two?
We're good. Oh, sorry, I spoke on behalf of you there.
You don't know how my life is at the moment. I'm miserable.
In this picture, I wanted to ask you about that little basket of hairbrushes that you've got there on the side. What's that about?
I don't know why, guys, but I'm really getting the urge to call my lesbian auntie.
How's the piles torn?
Not so bad.
It's good. Well, it might surprise you to know that I wasn't about in the 60s when it came out originally. So, I know it's a shocker, isn't it? Probably like the first pop song that I heard as a kid was Love Me Do, which was obviously the first one people would have heard in the 60s, which...
Two minutes on the clock. Start the clock. Who was the inspiration for the song Dear Prudence? Which Beatles song is named after a street in the Hollywood Hills? Which Beatles song has a woman's name in the title but it doesn't appear in the lyrics?
God.
You have to tell us the line that comes before it.
What they need's a damn good whacking.
Piggies, in their lives is something lacking.
There is no one that compares with you.
No
But of all these friends and
lovers.
so you only get 2 attempts at getting this song right.
I'm not gonna lie. He's doing a trumpet anyway. I think. It keeps freezing on my screen, which makes it harder.
So there you go. What did you think? Please, you know, go and watch it. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it over on the Dinner with Greedo channel. It is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Howdy Beatley, have you checked out the Back to the Egg book by Luca Parisi? Not bad so far. Hello from sunny Miami, Florida. No, I haven't. I've got most of his other books. I've got the Press to Play book and all the other stuff, music is ideas and all that sort of stuff. I haven't got the Back to the Egg one yet. James says, I bought the 7-inch box set in high res and it's brilliant. I did look at cherry picking tracks, but it was cheaper getting the whole set. Okay. Long riding road map, or why don't we do it in the middle of the road map? Thank you. Everyone's a comedian. Did you buy the full anthology, 4 volumes? Do you think the sound has improved enough to make it worth it? Yeah, I did. I did. I bought it both on CD and LP, and I think that the improvements to 1, 2, and 3 make it absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. But it does depend on how bothered you are about sound quality. If you're not fussed, if you're just going to listen in your car or something like that, then you probably won't notice the difference. But if you're listening on your hi-fi, you probably definitely will. And so that's my thought about that. Okay. Hi, Stephen. As just home from work. That's what we like to hear. And I enjoyed your Rubber Soul video yesterday. Thanks very much. And I just hope there are things hidden in the vaults for the box set when it comes out, hopefully next year. Well, the only way that there could be anything hidden is if they couldn't, when Lewison did his complete recordings, it's possible that maybe they couldn't, there was some boxes that went missing, or that they've been misfiled or something like that. That is possible. That is possible. But if we take that out of the equation, it is what it is. They did this many takes for this song and that many takes for that song, and that's all it is. And as I said in the video, the way that they recorded, the way that they were recording Rubber Soul and at that particular time is that they would do the backing track. They would do the music, play it as a band, get the master version, and then do the vocals and all the other stuff as an overdub, guitar solos and things like that as overdubs. So consequently, what you've got is mostly instrumentals of the outtakes. There could be some demos like the Yellow Submarine on Revolve. There could be some demos hanging about. Maybe Paul's got some demos, maybe Sean has got some demos of John's, that they could use. That could save it. That could save the sessions discs. But on the strength of what we know is in the vaults, then we're not looking at very much, real sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel. Polythene Pam's dad says, press the like button, viewers. Yeah, hit it. Hello, Andy. You all right? You calling me George? Oh, no. You're calling me Tony. Hello, George. Morning, Terry. Yeah. He's checking my machine. Right. I still love the 3 solos on the end of Abbey Road as my favourite solos, fitting finale. What a finale. Sean saying hi. Hi, Sean. I think Paul should tour smaller venues. My local pub would be a good place to start. He can do my front room if he wants. He can definitely do that. John says, I saw Macca on his first UK date on Back in the World, and I also saw him at Hyde Park. I think it was 2010. Yeah, I was there. At Hyde Park. I was also at, I think, well, in London, it was Earl's Court. I don't know what part of the country you're from. You sound a bit northern. John has got a YouTube channel, by the way, brand new YouTube channel called Apple Jams, and do check it out and give him a subscribe if you like what you see. Yeah, I think yeah, you sound a bit northern to me. So I don't know where you saw him, but I saw him at Earl's Court on the Back in the World tour. We've had that one. Oh, have we? Oh no, we haven't had that one. And that just another one home from work. Just home from work, trying to catch up with all the chat. Do you think Paul will ever release another live album, or will the limitations with his voice mean they don't? I don't think he will. No, I don't. Got an original Yellow Submarine and enjoying it. Good stuff. You're only up the road from me. Let's go for a beer sometime. Yeah, okay, we can do that. Drop me an email and we'll sort it out. Sort out the emails on my my YouTube thingy. 60th anniversary edition starting in 2023 would have been the way to go. Yeah, it would definitely. Lila says, do you think if Macca threw in the likes of House of Wax into the set list, it would alienate half the audience? That's why we won't get a song like that in his list. Well, I've seen him do it live. He did it live when he was doing those shows in 2007 when Memory Almost Full came out. I saw him at the Roundhouse, very small venue in London. I don't know if you know about it, Lila. In London, it used to be a punk venue back in the day. Holds about 2,000 people, and I saw him there, and he did House of Wax at that gig. And I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know how people would react to stuff. A lot of people were there for the Beatles stuff. That is a fact. But I don't know. What would they do? Would they go for a wee during House of Wax? I don't know. They might hear the beginning of it, realize it's an absolutely brilliant song, and stick around. I don't know. I just don't know if it would alienate people, but I think it would be less popular than the Beatles stuff. So in other words, not going down as well. Hey, Bob. How you doing? Just taking my lunch and logged on to your live stream. Don't know what I missed, but I'm almost through enjoying the anthology set I imported from CD to iTunes, playing it in my car. Good stuff. Enjoy it. And also, my latest video about anthology, the bootlegs that you sent me came in really useful for that, because I used that to listen to quite a lot of the stuff that is in the archives. So thanks very much for sending me that. Really appreciate that. It was great. Bob's still talking. I guess I'm going to have to wait until Christmas break to find time to play the vinyl. Yeah. All you hard workers, enjoy your video speculating about Rubber Soul. But you've seen it already. Did you take some of that? Yeah, I did. I did. I used that, and I used YouTube, to listen. I mean, there's a lot of fluff on that, like, what's it called? Guitar Band or Garage Band or whatever it is, Guitar Hero. Rock Band, that's it. The Rock Band versions, putting that on a bootleg, that's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? That is a bit of a stretch. But there you go. But yeah, I did use it. I think Purple Chick may have also had some additional outtakes as well. Yeah, I was kind of going by what's in the Lewison book. You know, he mentions all the takes, and then I was trying to find those takes to hear what they were like, because he doesn't always describe what goes on in the in the tape. We've had that one. I still see Magical Mystery Tour from the 2014 around in the shops. Okay. Do you ever shop from the official Beatles store UK? And if so, what was the last thing you bought? Yeah, I do. Well, I bought Anthology from there. I do buy it. I don't really buy much Beatles merch from there. I have to say, I usually go to. Well, you'll know this, Lila, being a Scouser. Whenever I come up to Liverpool, and I will be in Liverpool from the 28th of December for a few days. And if you want to have a beer, let me know. But when I go to Liverpool, I like to go to that shop that's below the Hard Day's Night Hotel. It's brilliant. It's like the best t-shirt shop in the world. I think it's fantastic. And they actually contacted me and asked me to do like a promotion for them, and they sent me a free t-shirt for doing it. But I was shopping there before that happened. I always go in there whenever I go to Liverpool. I go into that shop. So I normally buy Beatles stuff from there. I do buy McCartney merch from his store, and George Harrison stuff from their store as well. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, Anthology would be the last thing that I bought from Beatles.com. Right. Did you see Matthew Street's video on Magical Mystery Tour? Nah. No, I didn't. I don't really like what if videos. I don't really like that sort of thing unless it's got some actual basis. So no, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it. Come on, Macca, complete Beatles. Give my regards. It needs cleaning, redoing, and re-releasing. Yeah, I wouldn't mind the complete Beatles. I must admit, I'm not in any hurry to give my regards to Broad Street again, I have to say. If streaming is good, why do I see people at thrift stores pulling out their phones and checking for collectability and scooping up CDs where I am anyway? I don't know. I'm not saying it's the only source, but I think it can be used to good effect. And as I said, I don't ever stream anything that I already own, but I do stream stuff that I'm thinking about buying. And I think it's great for that, and I think it's great for the kids as well that can't afford to buy, or not just the kids, anyone. 30 quid an album is a lot of money. And if the only access that people have got to music because of financial restrictions or whatever, then it's a good thing. Yeah, people might be doing what I do. When they're going through the records in charity shops or record stores, is just making sure. I always check my Discogs to make sure that I don't already own that album. And I did actually come a cropper in Montreal because I didn't do that. But normally I do check what I've got just to make sure, because I think, I haven't got that album, and I think I'll have that. And then I get home and think, I know I wanted that album. I must have bought it the last time I went to a record shop. Like an idiot. We have had that quite a few times now. Off topic, do you like Christmas? Yeah, I do actually. I do. I used to really like it when I was working, because I used to sort of take those 3 days off in between Christmas and New Year. So you kind of had from Christmas Eve, which was always a half day, right until January the 2nd or 3rd or whatever day the first working day in the new year used to be. So I used to love it. Yeah, I do. We've got all our lights up and stuff, and got the tree up. And yeah, I do like Christmas. Do you? Holiday McCartney tunes, simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Yeah. Is there any truth that the Beatleboard quiz is going to be snapped up by ITV to be shown to battle against Strictly Come Dancing for viewing figures? It could happen. It could happen, Dino. Hi, Tone. Have you listened to Got Weller's covers album, El Dorado? Not heard you mention it. Yeah, I have got it. I've played it a couple of times. I'm not that enamored with it, to be honest. But it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, I do have it on red vinyl, I think. Would you agree that Oasis influenced and sent a younger generation more to listen to the Beatles than any promotional campaign from Apple? I think it. I'm not really sure, because they definitely did influence people to, not just Oasis though. I would just say the whole Britpop movement, and I would include Blur in that, Pulp in that, Ocean Colour Scene, Paul Weller. Paul Weller has been banging on about the Beatles since the 70s. So, I'm not really sure, but I definitely think that Anthology was a big thing. And when you think about when Anthology dropped in 1995, that was when kind of Oasis brought out Morning Glory. That was their kind of peak, the peak of their popularity. So yeah, but Liam calling his son Lennon and things like that. But they definitely would have pushed people in that direction. But I'm not sure whether how do you monitor it? How do you monitor whether Oasis brought more Beatles people to the table, or Anthology? You can't really say. I mean, so many people got on the Beatles bus because of Anthology. Because that they would have been at the right age at that time. If you were a teenager in the mid 90s, then you were ripe for it, right? Would there ever be a George Harrison anthology? I remember reading about something called Portrait of a Legend, which Harrison had hand drawn a book. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I'm not sure how much George stuff is out there. They haven't really given us very much at all. I mean, obviously, All Things Was Past was amazing. They gave us loads of stuff on that. That was really good, but less so for Living in the Material World. They just gave us one outtake for each song, or demo for each song. So no, I don't see that as being a realistic thing. But you never know with these things. They keep everything they're very tight-lipped about everything, aren't they? Okay, we've had that one about 15 times now. I need to stop clicking on it. Wasn't the full video to the Frog Chorus shown before the Broad Street film? Yes, it was. It was, yeah. Yeah, if you saw it in cinemas, yeah, it was. I was so embarrassed buying the Frog song back in 1984. Yeah, me too. I had to buy it, but I asked if they could put it in a brown paper bag. I never liked it much until my eldest daughter watched it over and over and over again. The short film, very cute. Christmas Essentials. Yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant piece of work. It's just the arrangements on it are just incredible, fantastic. When I heard it, and I say it was only a few weeks ago when I played All the Best, and I just felt really ignorant for not realizing this before. Embarrassingly so. C. Weller is touring early summer, hoping it's close to McCartney gig for a UK trip. Okay, be good. That'll be good. I've kind of seen enough Paul Weller now. I think I've seen him so many times. I saw the Jam. I saw the Jam 3 times back in the day, and I've seen Paul Weller well over 20 times live, and I think I've seen him enough now. I think I've been less impressed with his is more recent stuff. I have to say, couldn't wait to hear Pet Sounds. When I heard it, when I heard it was compared to Pepper. On Listen, it was the most horrible thing I'd ever heard. Hate it. Well, I'm not a big fan of it either, to be absolutely honest. I wouldn't say it's the most horrible thing I've ever heard, but in fact, it's definitely not. But I don't really get the hype for it. It's good, but it's not brilliant. That's my opinion. Brilliant promo. Is Ollie a Scouser? Sounds like it. No, we asked him where he's from. He's from Carlisle, which is right up north, just south of the Scottish border. So it's about as north you can be, pretty much, and still be in England. So yeah, he's from there. I didn't think he was a Scouser, but I thought he was from Lancashire. But he's from Carlisle. These are comments coming in for the promo, right? Absolutely fab. I'm not sure what that means. In these 4 Beatles movies, I know the wives are, but I was wondering, are Epstein, Evans, Taylor, Martin also represented? I don't know. I'm not really keeping that much in tune with it because I'm not a big fan of biopics, but I did see that Amy Lou Wood had been cast as Patty Boyd, and I think that is a brilliant casting because she's got the teeth. She's got the teeth for it. But I'm not really keeping. I will go and see them definitely, but generally I'm not a big fan of biopics, and they don't get me excited like a lot of people get very excited about them, and they don't. I don't get that excitement, but I will go and see them when they come out. But I think we're at least a couple of years away from that, aren't we? Greetings from Bristol. Hi there, Paul. Really hoping we will be getting some more McCartney on Blu-ray audio, given the Wings Blu-ray was successful. Yeah, I haven't actually got that yet. But my mate Andy, he tells me it's brilliant, and I believe him. So I will pick it up. I know it did sell out, but it is back in stock now on Paul's website. I'm only sleeping. What's up, Beatley Tone? Saying hello from cloudy, rainy New Jersey. Well, that's at least 2 people from New Jersey that we've got in the room at the moment. Welcome. Mike says, all right, I have to go to take care. Look forward to the next new content. Thanks very much, Mike. Thanks for being here. John says, I'm from Barnsley. See, I knew you were a northerner. Originally lived in Liverpool, Manchester, now Warrington. Thanks so much for the shout out. You're welcome. I remember going to Barnsley for football. I went and saw West Ham play at Barnsley, and the stand had across the roof. It had an advert for John Smith's Bitter, but when you see it out of context, it just looks like it says John Smith's Bitter. And I just said, I bet he is. Right, okay, move on quickly from that. Seeing Mac alive, thoughts on sitting down the front? Would you rather stand and dance? Yeah, well, we did. When you're on the floor, you do stand, and you stand up for 3 hours. I don't know how Paul does it, really, to be honest. I'm just happy to be able to stand up for 3 hours, let alone do all he does for 3 hours. That includes standing up. I suppose he gets to sit on the piano a bit, but mostly he's standing and moving around and stuff. But yeah, we had the best of both worlds because on the first night in Montreal, we were on the floor and we were stood up the whole time. On the second night, we were on the side, but right at the front of the side block, so we had a really good view. And I would say that we had a better view from the side than we did from the floor, because obviously on the floor everyone's on the level, and if you've got a big bloke in front of you, then you're kind of going like that, aren't you? And so when we were sitting on the side, we kind of stood up for most of it, and when it was like something like My Valentine, we sat down and add a little break. So yeah, I kind of like both things really. I was at Hyde Park 2010, McCartney, Elvis Costello, Crowded House, Crosby, Stills, Nash. Have I got that right? You've got that absolutely right. And to add to that, it was also the day that England got beaten 5-1 by Germany in the World Cup, and they had it on the screen. And I remember like when Crowded House came out, it was just after the game had finished, and Neil Finn came up to the microphone and he said, I don't really understand what has just happened, but I know it's not good. So we're going to do our best to cheer you up. And they really did. They really got everyone up for Paul. They were brilliant that day, Crowded House. And Elvis Costello was really good as well. And he was a bit bemused because of that Lampard goal going in during his set and everyone going crazy, and then it was disallowed. So he was a bit, he didn't really know what was going on. So you couldn't see. You remember you couldn't see, when the match was on. You had the match on the video screens rather than what was going on the stage. Okay, love the channel, man. Thank you, Josh. Massive Beatles fan myself, and where I live has a little bit of Beatles history. 5-minute walk is Derek Taylor's house, purchased by George for him, I believe. Oh, okay. Glad you like the channel, buddy. I saw Paul sing a little bit of Yellow Submarine on 7th July 2014 in Pittsburgh. That was unique. Okay, I didn't know he'd done that. Obviously, he's passed now, but we have a photo of Leonard's white Rolls Royce outside. Okay, cool. That's very good. Very good. When I saw Macca in 2015, the guy next to me ran to the bar when Temporary Secretary was played. But that was the highlight of the set for me. Yeah. I know. I had one bloke. Once I was at the O2 and we were in the nosebleeds, and there's this bloke, and he kept going backwards and forwards down the row, and he'd come back with a pint of lager, and then he'd go probably to wear out, and then he'd come back, and then he'd go out again, get another pint of lager, go backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And I just, after about the 5th time, I just said, "You do know that that's Paul McCartney down there, don't you?" And he just said, "Yeah, I've come from Brazil." And I just thought, you've come all the way from Rio to drink warm beer at the O2, mate. Come on, get a grip. Only Sleeping would love to see unreleased Magical Mystery Tour footage. James, I saw back in the World Tour on Easter Monday at Earl's Court. I was also at Hyde Park. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we've been at the same gig. Well, definitely, if you were at Hyde Park in 2010, I was definitely there. And I can't remember what date. I think I saw a couple of. Did he do a couple of shows at Earl's Court? I can't remember now. If he only done one, then I was there that day as well. I can't really remember. Tone, have you ever listened to Tom Odell? I know it's high praise, but I genuinely think he has the best voice in music since Macca in the early 70s. Great writer of pop rock. No, I haven't. Thanks for the tip. I will endeavour to stream something. That's what I mean. I go and listen to stuff that I don't know, so that's what I use it for. Mrs. Beatley Tone is here. Hello from me and Lou. Hiya. Lenticular cover for Rubber Soul. Interesting idea. Why didn't they think of that or do that for Sgt. Pepper? They kind of did do it for Sgt. Pepper, didn't they? It's kind of like that poster there. It's kind of 3D-ish. But yeah, I thought that would work really well with the Rubber Soul picture. So let's see if they do that. Complete Beatles was great. Give my regards, not so much yet. That's kind of how I feel as well. Hello, Beatley Tone. Happy holiday season from Canada. Happy holiday season to you too, sir. Hi, Tone. How are you? Season's greetings from Canada, and to you too, Noah, and your family. Given the holiday season, it would be nice to see Beatles Christmas messages and some other format other than just the vinyl release from some years ago. Okay, good point. James says, "We All Stand Together" was rumoured to be written about the Greenham Conham nuclear arm disarmament protest. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that. I don't think. Dino says, the anthology on Disney has divided fans. I remember in 1995 watching All You Need Is Love, changing from black and white to colour. My jaw dropped and had tears in my eyes. Such an emotional moment. Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. But it just looks brilliant, doesn't it? It just looks absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Good morning from Melbourne. Good morning to you, Graham. Thank you for spending your morning here. Appreciate that. Doc Docus is here. Has Slade's "Merry Christmas" everybody been played on the radio yet? It's not Christmas until it does. Yeah, I think it has. I don't listen to much radio, but if you go anywhere shopping here in the UK, if you go to a shopping mall in the UK, every shop is playing the Now That's What I Call Christmas CD, and that, of course, is on it. So if you get there the right time, you'll hear Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, everybody by Slade. But it's a great song. It is a great song, but I am a bit sladed out now. Hi, Paul. Hi. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. I hope in 1963, What Goes On demo is included in a possible Rubber Soul box. That song really changed via Paul and Ringo. John's early Yellow Submarine demo was the highlight of Revolver Box. Yeah. So I think that there could be a few gems that we don't know about, like the Yellow Submarine. Maybe Paul's got a few demos. Maybe Sean's got a few demos. And someone said in the comments on my video that What Goes On demo, the acetate of that, is owned by Andrew from Parlogram. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, that's quite phenomenal. Paul said to Doc that he heard it on the radio. Ricardo is here. Hi, Ricardo. Stephen says, do you think there will be a double fantasy Milk and Honey box set? Yeah, there will. Yeah, it'll be one box set. But it's definitely on its way. If you do try Tom Odell, try the song Black Friday on YouTube live on Chris Evans. It's amazing vocal performance. I'm just going to make a note of this. And so his name's Tom Odell, right? Black Friday. Okay, right. I'm on the case. Tone, are you going to any of the Abbey Road Christmas Quartet shows at Abbey this month? They are amazing. It's inside studio too. No. Well, I haven't got tickets for it. No, I don't think so. I'm pretty busy in the lead up to Christmas, I have to tell you. Got quite a lot on. Hi, Rob. Nice to see you. After your post, I listened to all of my Rubber Soul outtake bootlegs. Some gems in the alternate takes. Like what? What have you found? There's a nice there's a nice Beatles episode from the channel. There's a nice Beatles episode from the channel. The Rest Is History by Conan O'Brien. Oh yeah, I did see that. It came up in my feed. Boom, 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 IEA. What's that mean? I don't know what you mean. You've gone. So, Tone, in your opinion, what do you think will be the next Beatles release for next year? I think it'll be Rubber Soul. I do think it will be Rubber Soul. Rob says, love the Beatles ball. Thank you. Slade it out. Oh, Tone. And just that particular song, I love a bit of Slade, actually. I do love a bit of Slade. They were one of my first favourite groups when I was like about 12. But that song just gets on my nerves now. I love the British Christmas tunes. Sir Rod yesterday was good. Great outfits. next time I hope to see the other Sir. Yeah, I hope you do as well. Thanks, Tone, for the hangout. See you soon. See you, John. Are we quite close to time now? Oh, we're quite close. We're quite close. We're wrapping it up very soon. Noah says, I do think that will be in the future. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Are we talking about Rubber Soul? Rubber Soul. What solo John song do you think McCartney would have sung better, and vice versa? Oh my God, that's a bit on the spot. That's a bit on the spot. Well, I don't know if he'd sing it better, but I think Paul would do a really good version of something like "Oh My Love." I think that would be a good one for Paul to sing. I mean, John's version is brilliant, but I think Paul would do a good version. Now, what McCartney song would John sing really well? What about something like "Hi Hi Hi" or Junior's Farm or something like that? Maybe. I'd love to hear him sing "Smile Away." That would be great. That would be great. Merry Kringle to everybody, and have a gear new year. Tone Santa might be arriving with a special gift this year. You never know. What will you do? You never know. You never know. In my opinion, one of Paul's best vocals is 1882 from Red Rose Speedway area. What would you say was Paul's best vocal? Oh, I've got a few. I think that is a good one. I really like. I think his vocal on Wildlife is just brilliant. Is a brilliant vocal, and I really like his vocal on. I like it when he gets like that hoarse sound in his voice. So I like things like what was I going to say? I've forgotten what I was going to say now. Call Me Back Again. Call Me Back Again live on Wings Over America. I think that is vocal he does. I think House of Wax is a great vocal. There's so many to choose from. It's difficult to say what is his best vocal, but I do like that when he does that "Oh Darling" voice, and that sort of thing. Long Tall Sally, those sort of songs. Paul did 3 shows, I think, at Earl's Court in 2003. I got to see him in Lisbon in 2004. I saw him in Verona, Italy, which I thought, yes, I was in Verona in 2013, right? That was brilliant. I think that's the best venue. That's the best venue I've ever seen him at, or anyone really. Really good. Ricardo says Tom Odell is a nice Real Love version, has quite many streams on Spotify, more than the Beatles one. Okay, good stuff. I'll definitely check him out. Next week, George Harrison Record Collector magazines. Oh, okay. It is going to be fab. Are you in it? Are you in it again? Slade with My First Love too, says James. Okay, what do you think will be included in the Rubber Soul box set? You're going to have to watch my video because it'll take too long to explain. I've just dropped a video about what might be in the Rubber Soul box set. So go and have a look at that, and that tells you what I think will be in it. Have you heard Slade's cover of Martha, My Dear? No, I don't think I have. I only really know the single, so I've got like a compilation of theirs, and I've got the Slade Alive album, but I don't have any of their other albums, and I don't have anything after 1974 really. But there you go. I always start something, don't I? Now it's the Slade fans chat. Okay, welcome to Beatley Slade. I mean, Sladey Tones Beatles Sladey channel. Idea for Hands Across the Water show. Top Beatle inspired releases by other bands. XTC, Skylarking, Utopia, Deface, the music, and the Ruttles come to mind. Okay, yeah, good idea. Have you ever been to the pub in Harrold, Bedfordshire, where 1968 Paul played Hey Jude for the first time? Not Not the dog and duck. I said the dog and duck. I think I said not the fox and duck. No, I've never even heard of Harold in Bedfordshire. To be absolutely honest, I don't even know where that is. But there you go. I just wanted to say I would never have bought any of the box sets or remixes if it wasn't for the Red and Blue albums being re-released at the time. They were. I still don't have Let It Be. Okay. Do you like Paul's song Vanilla Sky? Yes, I do. It's kind of forgotten, but it was even nominated for Grammy. Yeah, I do like it. There's a live version. It's on that Back in the World, isn't it? Oh, back in the World, is it called? Yeah. One Hand Clap in 1985 was an epic vocal as well. Joe says, I'm 71 years old, don't have a lot of money. Understand. What is your favorite music video in a Beatles film? Mine is You're Gonna Lose That Girl and I Am the Walrus. So you actually mean a video in a film. I think if I was going to pick anything, I'm the Walrus would be close. But if I can pick anything from a film where they're playing music, I think I'd go for Don't Let Me Down on the rooftop. I think that's just fantastic. Just love that. So that would be my choice. Which is worse for the health, vaping or supporting the Hammers? Definitely supporting the Hammers. It's not good. It's not good for my heart. It's not good for my nerves. And I need to let it go. Right, boys and girls, we have come to the end of the line. We have done everyone's comments. I thank you all for being here, being part of this live stream. There's been a lot of people on today. I think 90 odd people were there. And Paul's just sent me Slade doing Martha, my dear. Thank you, everyone, for being here, taking part. Those of you in the comments, and even everyone that's just behind the scenes, just watching, not having anything to say, but just watching. Thank you for being here, and thank you, everyone, for being part of this stream. I am going to try and do one before Christmas, but being realistic, not all of you will be on that one. So I wish everyone here very happy Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever it is that you celebrate over the holiday season. I wish you and your families, and thank you all for your support of me and the channel, and I really do appreciate it. And that's all for me for now. Thanks very much, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.